Hey y'all, welcome to the live. Just doing a really quick get ready with me. First I'm putting on this Murad. It's the Invisibler Perfecting Shield Broad Spectrum SPF 30. It's a primer with sunscreen. Hey Yasmin. Thanks for joining. Just doing a really quick get ready with me. I'm putting on this Murad SPF and primer on. I'm so glad you can join. Yes, it's another church get ready with me. You already know. Another impromptu last minute thing. I never know when I'm going to have time to do this, but I'm so glad you can make it. Especially since I know it's around dinner time there in New York. Thanks for joining. I'm just doing a really quick get ready with me. I'm going to church in a little bit, so I just have like 30 minutes. Gotta turn my fan on here because it's kind of hot. Just doing kind of like a quick no makeup look. It's what I usually do for church. And let's see. I'll use this Natasha Denona concealer today. I haven't used it in a while. It is more of a color corrector than a concealer, I would say. It has that orangey tone to it. Hey Cindy, thanks for joining. So glad you can make it. I'm just doing a really quick impromptu get ready with me. I'm doing like a no makeup look since I'm going to church in a little bit. I have like 30 minutes till I have to leave, so I'm just slapping some products on. Trying to keep it easy and low key since it's pretty hot out. Hey, what are you up to? Where are you watching from if you're watching this? So I just used the Murad SPF before this, and then I just went ahead and put a little bit of this Natasha Denona color corrector on. For my eyebrows, I put on this Urban Decay Slick Daybrow Eyebrow Gel. I hope the lighting is okay and that my AC in the background isn't too loud. Okay, you live in California too. It's been hot. Has been, right? I should look up that Sicily tint you mentioned. Oh yeah, this one. So I used this one in my most recent YouTube video that I posted, and it's so good. Yasmin, have you tried this before? I know you're also a Sicily fan. I just don't like the price tag and I don't like the shade range. But other than that, this has like the most beautiful coverage. It's like an arm and a leg, but I think you can get it on sale sometimes on just like different websites. The eyebrow gel from Urban Decay, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorite eyebrow gels I've ever tried. I will say the applicator is really interesting and unique. I don't have any other eyebrow gels with this applicator. It's like it has a lot of little tiny teeth, if you can see, and they're metal. So they really do like nicely brush up your eyebrows. I do like that about this. It has a pretty good hold. So I don't have a lot of negative things to say about it, honestly. It doesn't leave like those white specks. It's a pretty underrated eyebrow gel. I don't really hear like anybody talk about it. It also has the ability to use the other side of this brush because it has like little tiny plastic teeth on the other side that just don't poke out as much as the metal ones. I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but yeah, it's a unique applicator situation. I like trying a bunch of different eyebrow gels. Oh, the Sisley looked greasy on you. This one, interesting. I have really oily skin, and so I'm always really aware of anything that might make me greasy. I'm sorry to hear it didn't work for you, but at the same time, it's probably a blessing in disguise because it's so pricey. The Sisley sunscreen had a weird spread to it. Interesting. I didn't have that experience myself. But thank you for sharing your experience. When I used the full half a tablespoon, it kind of glopped on. Okay, yeah, I mentioned in my YouTube video that when I use this, that I use like the tiniest amount. So I don't know if maybe it had to do with the amount, but like I'll take a little spatula like this and I'll just take like 2 tiny like pea-sized amounts like this. And like I'll put it on right now. And I just kind of like spread it out like that. And just kind of like build it as I go. So I don't know if, I mean, I've always just been really cautious about the amount I use because it's so pricey. So, but I took a risk on this because like the online swatches just really don't show the true color. And I was pleasantly surprised, but it was Michelle Wong who was really raving about this. I don't know if any of you watch her, but she was the one that just like over and over would mention how good it was. So I just kind of caved. But a cheaper alternative and a really nice skin tint with SPF. It doesn't have an SPF of 30 like the Sisley one has, but the Chantecaille one's another one of my favorites. If you haven't tried that one, I do recommend it. Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel and the Refi Brow Tint. Interesting. I have the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel right here. I agree. This one's a really good one. The Refi Brow Tint. I haven't tried the Refi Brow Tint. I know which one you're talking about, though. I think it's like the one with the little ball applicator, the little spiky ball. I put a ton of SPF. I put a lot of SPF on, too. I know, Yasmin, you said you only use mineral SPFs. This one is a chemical one, but I really like how it really does blur pores, and it's matte and super clear, and I don't have any experience with that getting into my eyes. This is the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. I don't know if y'all have a cosmetics company store near you, but I recently picked this up at the cosmetics company store outlet on like a great deal. It was like 50% off. And I thought they were discontinuing this Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel, but I was pleasantly surprised to find a bunch there. And I feel like I've seen it online again. So I don't know if they just reformulated it potentially. Yeah, I hope I haven't missed any comments. Yeah. Yeah, it's really not a bad problem to have if that Sisley one doesn't work on you, because I don't know why it's so expensive. I don't know if it maybe has skincare ingredients. I do like that it has an SPF of 30 and it has really nice coverage, and just like the way it wears throughout the day is really lovely. Also at the cosmetics company store outlet, when I got the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel, I found that they also had the regular clear version. If you haven't tried this one, I've heard mixed reviews on this one. It's pretty good. Like, it's almost like a more luxurious formula than of this, like, it's like a more luxurious version of the Refi one. The Refi Brow Gel. This is the only one from Refi I've tried. This is not the tinted one though. It's just the clear one. It's so expensive at regular price. Yeah. Got an old one. The new ones aren't as good. Are you talking about the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel? Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I looked out, and I almost passed up on it too because they only had the shade Chestnut, and I have the other shade. I have the Espresso shade, and so I figured, like, I don't know why I assumed that the Chestnut shade was just going to be too warm on me, just hearing the name Chestnut. But then I just like swatched their sample that they had on my hand, and it's like a really nice chocolate brown. It's not warm at all. It's very neutral. It is expensive at regular price, totally. Like Yasmin, her and I are firm believers in getting makeup at on sale, because otherwise, yeah, I would be in trouble if I just splurged on all the new releases. I'm just using the Chikuhodo T6 for my concealer today. Yeah, I know. The cosmetics company store is really underrated. If you ever have the opportunity to come across one, highly recommend going in and checking out what they have. I found a lot of cool stuff there. I got the Murad foundation there on like a super sweet deal. It was like half off. I've also gotten the Tom Ford stick foundation at the cosmetics company store for like half off or 40% off. Yeah, especially in this economy, for real. But I appreciate you all joining and being here, especially since this was so last minute. Trying to think what else we can do. I should put on some bronzer. I've been liking this Giorgio Armani bronzer because it's like, it's not super warm. It's neutral, and it's just really easy to slap on. This is the Chikuhodo T2. You like the Armani bronzer too? Yeah, I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one. I was pleasantly surprised by it because I usually don't love bronzers with like shimmer in them. Like this one has a little bit of shimmer, but it's quite undetectable on the skin. Again, just because I have like oily and textured skin, I'm just very conscious of like shimmer on my cheeks and forehead area. But I can like be pretty generous with this one. And as you can see, it's not super dark. Sorry, I had to turn on the brightness on my phone. Okay, bye Yasmin. Thanks for joining. All right, what else should we do? I think I want to put on a little bit of a powder foundation right now since it's so hot out. I just grabbed this Fenty one. I have the shade 260. And this slanted squirrel brush. I used these brushes in my last YouTube video. I just still have them out since I haven't rotated them yet. There's been a lot of nice bronzers out lately that I've tried. I've been loving this YSL one, the Chanel one, the limited edition one with the 3 tones. That one's beautiful too. I also really like the Gucci bronzer as well. Gonna touch up the eyebrows here just a little bit. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Detailer. I like how it has a super fine point, but it's almost like too fine where if you're not super careful they can break. Yeah, the Chanel ones, those Chanel face palettes, aren't they gorgeous? I'm this close to getting another shade. I'm so tempted. I have the medium coral one, but I've been eyeing the other medium tone pink one. But it just has like a more bronzy bronzer in there because it's too dark. It would be too dark on my skin tone to use as a highlight. And like I said, I don't always love like shimmer in my bronzers, but if anybody's going to make that formula well and have it be elegant and not emphasize texture, it'll probably be Chanel. Yeah, okay, you have it. You're being an enabler. Excuse me, you're being an enabler by telling me that. Don't tell me. I know, I almost never splurge like that with Chanel either, but... And then I went to go grab it recently and on the Nordstrom website, and I didn't see it on there anymore, and I got kind of scared at first because I was thinking like since it was limited edition it might not come back, but luckily I just saw it back on the website today. So, I don't know, I'm still thinking about grabbing it. Because I just, like, I went on YouTube and looked up all the reviews. And pretty much every review I saw was a positive review. I really love these Valentino blushes. Cindy, do you like these blushes? Have you tried them? I just love the formula. It almost reminds me of, like, Suku, but, like... You know, like that creaminess in their melting blushes. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm just doing a really quick get ready with me before I have to head out to church. I'm just applying this Valentino blush right now. I love these blushes. I just dropped a little brush applicator it came with, but it stayed in its little package because I never use it. I just don't like the packaging for the same reason. Like, it's just annoying. I don't know. It's just like big, bulky, plasticky, but the formula inside is really nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you have to try it. I do highly recommend. And then I recently picked up the bronzer. And I just got the refill because the full size, like clutch that this comes in is like way too expensive. So I think this was already like $50 and it's just the refill. But it's lovely. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm just doing a super quick get ready with me before heading out to church in a little bit. Just because I have this out already, I'm just going to apply it kind of like throw it in my crease here. That's usually what I do. I usually don't even wear eyeshadow on a daily basis, but I kind of want to show you like how buttery and smooth. That Giorgio Armani bronzer that I was using just now too is also a really great one to throw in the crease. Like the Valentino bronzer, they're both similar in the sense that they have like a slight like sheen. It's almost undetectable. I would say you could spot more of the glitter in the Giorgio Armani. Reconsidering this, that what I just said about this Valentino one, now that I'm looking at it again, I feel like there's microscopic little tiny specks of, like I said, it's almost just like a sheen, like, but it's not completely matte. But you won't even detect it once it's on the skin. Do you see how like just smoothly that blended out so easily? I barely had to. This is a really good brush. It's the Takeda Canadian Squirrel brush, so this helps blend everything out like really easily too. But this is the Valentino formula. It's just like, it's almost like a creamy formula. Like I said, similar to the Suku melting blush formulas, if you're familiar with those. But I've been like slowly collecting like every shade in these blushes. They're just really lovely. Yeah, perfect for the crease. Thank you. Yeah, see, it's just really natural looking. And then I'll just use this Clé de Peau. What is this? I get confused between, oh, here's the Chanel. The Clé de Peau cushion foundation and the pressed powder package, just because they're both so similar. Here it is. Clé de Peau pressed powder. This is a really lightweight pressed powder formula. It's really nice. Like I said, I'm oily, so particularly in my T-zone is where I like to pack on that powder. Oh, and this is the Chanel powder that we were talking about earlier. I might just pop on a little bit of this coral blush on top, because knowing me, I love blush, and it's the first thing that fades on my skin throughout the day anyway. All right, what else should we do? Let's do a little bit of bottom lash mascara. This is the Merit one. It's a tubing mascara. I like it because the tubing mascara formula doesn't leave me with raccoon eyes or transfer underneath. You love that Chanel bronzer? Yeah, same. Isn't it gorgeous? It's so lovely. I used it in my most recent YouTube video I just posted. The highlighter in it is a little bit dark. It's not dark, it's just not as intense of a highlighter than I usually like to go for. The highlighter in here, but let's see, I'll put it on right now. But it just has this like lovely way of just like smoothing the skin. It gives like a really beautiful sheen. Can you see that? It's really nice. It's just that like when I'm in a rush, I like to also take the same highlighter I'm using on like a little round brush like this, Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. And I just like to put it, like just throw it into my inner corners. Right here on my eyes. Just to kind of brighten up any darkness in that area, and just so like when I turn, you can just see like a hint of it. I don't know, you could probably barely see it, but I know it's there. I'm just gonna do a really quick nose contour here. I'm just watching the time, so I'm not late. It's 4:36, we're good. Just because if I don't do this, I just feel like the middle of my face looks a little weird without any dimension. So this Natasha Denona medium contour powder is like just like the perfect matte contour shade. Thank you so much for the compliment on my skin. The foundation, I put like the tiniest bit of this Sisley. It's like a tinted SPF, just because we were talking about it. So it wasn't even much at all. I'm doing such a lightweight makeup look right now. I mostly just I used a little bit of this Fenty concealer to just kind of like highlight certain points, and then the majority of the rest of the concealing was done by this Natasha Denona color corrector concealer. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that compliment because my skin is acne prone and I'm always struggling with it. Earlier today, I was doing, what do they call this? Like dermaplaning, where you like shave off the peach fuzz on your face. And I don't know why I had like such a realization. I've been so bothered lately by like clogged pores around my nose. I don't know if it's like the hotter weather or what. The fact that it's been a while since I was on Accutane, and the Accutane really got rid of all of that. So I always have to be careful with this area and not put too much tretinoin on, because then I can just, start to get like more creasing and everything right here where I already have issues with that. So I just started like really getting into like the crevices with this blade. I know it sounds dangerous, and I'm sure it is dangerous. I've cut myself before, but this one isn't as sharp since I've used it a few times. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. It really helped get like, I know I'm like going way off topic, but I do feel like it kind of helped clear up that area. But yeah, it's mostly just concealer that I used today, and then a tiny bit of this Sisley tinted SPF. I did recently post a YouTube video on my YouTube channel at MakeupEsquire where I use this all around the face, and I just raved about how great it is. But my biggest complaint about this Sisley, I like it because it has an SPF of 30 and it's difficult to find foundation or any tinted SPFs with that high of an SPF. As an alternative, I do really like the Chantecaille tinted SPF I did mention earlier. But my biggest gripes with this is the lack of, hi, thank you for joining. I'm just doing a really quick get ready with me before I have to leave to church soon. But I'm talking about what's on my face. It's mostly just these two concealers right here. This is more of a color corrector shade on me, and then a little bit of the Fenty just to brighten up, just because it's a little bit lighter than this. I use like a tiny pea-sized amount of this that I just spread all over the face. I love this formula. It has great coverage, and it looks just beautiful on the skin. It wears really nicely throughout the day, but I don't like the shade range, and I don't like the price. It is so pricey. I hope you don't mind. I'm just gonna have to turn another fan on here because I'm getting hot, but I'm just finishing up the eyes right here real quick, and we'll do a little bit of lip liner. as an maybe this also helps. I have this underneath. It's the Murad SPF. It's their Invisiblur Protecting Shield SPF 30. It does help kind of mattify my T-zone and blur some of the pores on my face. So that might have something to do with it as well. I'm just using the Freck Beauty lip liner in the shade 5. These lip liners are okay. I mostly just like them because I don't have to sharpen them. I will say they last a long time. But I recently tried a few Give Beauty products from Sephora. I have them all just kind of right here. I don't know. I was not impressed. I had high hopes, but I'm curious to know if any of you have tried any Give Beauty products. I grew up like listening to Gwen Stefani, so I wanted to love the products, but it just didn't really do it for me. And those are the only products I've tried from her line. I'm looking for my lip brush. I like never do my lips with, oh, here it is, without a lip brush. This is the Bisiotto lip brush. It's Weasel. And then for blush, I use the Valentino blushes. I actually did a mix of like 3 different blushes. I used a little bit of the coral blush in this Chanel face palette, and then I dipped into this pinky one by Valentino. When I don't do a cream blush underneath the powder blush, I go for like a more pigmented powder blush. What should we do on the lips? Let's see. I have my little lipstick stand here with just like some of the newest formulas that I've been grabbing. Okay, I will say the one product that I tried from Give Beauty that I do like is this Dewy Plump Collagen Lip Gel. So I do like this one. The rest were just kind of so-so. I have this one I could use. Let's see. I'm thinking this one's similar. Hi, thank you for joining. We're just doing a little get ready with me. I feel like either of these might match my blush and just are pretty neutral. Let's just throw them both on to see. I was grabbing for a more mattifying formula right now just because my hair is down and I just can't stand when I love a good lip gloss, but I just cannot stand when my hair is down when it sticks onto my lip gloss. So I've been liking this like ombre type of thing where I leave the center of my lips a little bit lighter than the rest of my lips, just because I feel like it helps make the lips look bigger and more plump. So these liquid lipsticks, both of these liquid lipsticks from MAC and from Clé de Peau are really, really lovely. I do recommend them if you're looking for a good liquid lipstick. And I know that liquid lipsticks just have, especially like the mattifying liquid lipsticks, they just have a bad rap of just being drying on the lips, but both of those are just super comfortable. They last a long time on the lips, and they're like blurring, which I love in a lip formula, because I don't have any lip filler in. Sadly, probably will get some eventually one day, but for now, I just look for formulas that help me kind of fake it, if you will. And over the years, the way I line my lips has changed. I used to kind of overline all of my lips, but especially like when I smile and stuff like that in photos, it just like doesn't look very good. So I've just been liking overlining just like in the center. You always get lipstick on your teeth. Yeah, it is really annoying. I feel you on that. That's the worst. I have a funny story about that, actually. I'll never forget. In law school, I was sitting there in trial practice class, and it was like just like really serious. It was a small class, and this boy that was sitting next to me, he's like, I'm like, you know, thinking I'm all cute. I had done my makeup before class, and he's like, "You have lipstick on your teeth." I was like so embarrassed. I feel like I was wearing like a ColourPop liquid lip. Never again, after that experience, got rid of all my ColourPop matte liquid lipsticks. I do feel like the formula is partially to blame for that happening. Yeah, I know. I was mortified. I was so embarrassed. Like, I ended up like looking in my little mirror, and I just like and I think I like had looked over and like smiled at him, and then that's when he saw it. I don't know if he even follows me on this channel. He might. Whatever. I don't care anymore. The older I get, like the less I'm trying to care about that stuff, right? We're all human. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Church starts in 10 minutes. It's like probably 5 minutes down the street from me. So that's pretty much how I leave it. It's a very no makeup look. Yeah, if anything, I might just like throw a tiny bit of eyeliner on. I can just grab like this Makeup by Mario one and just kind of like finish up on that top lash line like that on the inner corner. Sometimes I do a little bit on the outer. But yeah, when I'm in a rush or like just day to day, I keep it really light. This is the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal eyeliner in Cinnamon. Just throwing this along the lower waterline. And that's it. That's all I really have time for. I could just keep going forever, but don't have time. So anyway, that's it for today's live. Thank you all for joining, even though it was so last minute. This around this time on Sundays typically works for me if I'm getting ready for church and I'm just doing something really impromptu and casual. So yeah, thank you for joining again. Have a good rest of your Sunday evening. Bye.